Hi, I'm Emby Brokaw,
I'm Christian Patterson.
and today we're downtown exploring Mission Mill.
Let's go check it out.
All right, we are here at Mission Mill with Kylie Pine. What do you do at the mill?
I'm the curatorial assistant here at Mission Mill.
And tell us a little bit about the history of Mission Mill.
Well, Mission Mill Museum was started in the 1960s to help preserve two pretty significant sets of buildings here in Salem. The Thomas K. Woolen Mill, which you can see behind us here, the red buildings here, and buildings related to the Jason Lee Methodist Mission.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful layout here. Tell us some of the original purposes of this area and the mill.
The mill was started in the 1880s to produce woolen goods. They take sheep from local area farmers and convert it into woolen blankets and other wholesale fabrics.
And this became like a business, or just like an area where where sheep are sheared and wool is made.
It was a very, very big part of Salem history and the economy in Salem during the time. At one point, the mill employed 1/5 of the non-farming population of the city of Salem. So it was a big part of industry.
Wow. What do people enjoy now when they come to see the Mission Mill and everything around here?
Well, today we have 15 historic structures on site on our 5 acres. We've got a stream that runs through the middle. We've got ducks you can feed, and exhibits as well that focus on the history of Salem, starting in the 1840s up until the 1960s. So,
Are some of the exhibits changing? Are they seasonal? Are there events taking place here seasonally?
definitely, we have a lot of events on site and seasonal exhibits too. We do about 2 changing exhibits every year, and they bring in all sorts of different things. Right now we have a Facing Statehood exhibit that focuses on the state's sesquicentennial 150th year anniversary celebration. And we'll be getting this summer a textile exhibit on Ghanaian kente cloth from Africa. So as far as the events, we have there's lots of events. We do a lot of things. In the winter time, during the holiday season, we have Magic at the Mill, which is our holiday event. We put lights on all over the site, and people can come and check out some of the history of the site, as well as live entertainment and kids activities. In the spring, the third Saturday in May, we have Sheep to Shawl Festival, which focuses on the fiber to fabric activities and the changing of the sheep fleece to the fabric. And so we've got live animals on site, entertainment demonstrators, textile demonstrators, all sorts of things.
It sounds like a lot of stuff goes on here. Now, what are the organizations that are based here currently?
Well, this past January, we merged with the Marion County Historical Society. That's always been on our site, but now we're one organization known as the Willamette Heritage Center. And so we're focusing on a bigger swath of history in the Salem and Marion County region. So they are taking over an archives research library, so you can come and do research here as well as adding to some of the exhibits we have up in the front. So,
what do you think locals in the community get out of it when they come to Mission Mill? What do you think they enjoy most?
A chance to get outside and look at some pretty cool historical buildings. A lot of people that come in say that they've never heard of this place, and we kind of hide our best parts inside the site. It's not very visible from the street, but we do have a lot of fun things to see and interesting history. So I think that's the biggest thing.
That's great. And as far as tourists who come here, what do you think surprises them, or what do you think they enjoy most?
It's an interesting section of history. I'm not sure a lot of museums focus on industry and specific industries, specifically like the woolen process, and have original machinery that some of which actually works and you can see working, and the unique history of Oregon as well. It's an interesting way that this country was settled. You have the East Coast, and most people are familiar with that, but then Oregon and the West Coast also kind of populated before a lot of the Oregon Trail and things that you start thinking of. So.
Yeah, well, it looks beautiful. I definitely want to check out some of the specifics here and see what we can learn. So let's go do that now. We are here in the PG Water Power exhibit. Tell us a bit about this exhibit.
Well, water is really the glue that ties the sides of this history that we have here together. The water was very essential in running the woolen mill. All of the machinery ran off of the water power, and the missionaries that were here actually dug the ditch that provided the stream with year-round water supply, so they could run a grist mill. So it really ties the two sides together, and it's an interesting, unique part of the history here on the site. All right, so this model shows how the water power drove all the machinery in the mill. The water would flow into the turbine, which you can't see here, and turn the crown gears right here, which would run and turn a long drive shaft that runs along here. And that drive shaft connected to belts and pulleys that would function all this machinery, like the fans on the elevator.
We're here in front of the Jason Lee House. Did you want to tell us about its history?
Certainly. This is the Jason Lee House. It was built in 1841. It is the oldest frame structure still standing in the Pacific Northwest. Jason Lee moved here and built this house as part of his mission to the Native American people here in the Willamette Valley. He actually set up about 10 miles north of here at Salem-Mission State Park. The mission they set up there, though, had some problems. It flooded a lot, and they were not satisfied with the position, so they moved down here in 1841 and built this house, the parsonage is right next door, and then also a grist mill and a sawmill.
So what house are we standing in front of now?
This is the John D. Boone House, and it was built in 1847. John D. Boone came over on the Oregon Trail and settled in Salem. He tried farming for a while, decided that it really wasn't for him, and then became a merchant in Salem. And actually, the McMenamins Treasury, Boone's Treasury, out on Broadway, is where his original store was, and this house was located right next to it.
And what was his original store?
It was a general mercantile store. He sold dry goods. He later on went on to become a state and territorial treasurer, and that's where the Treasury got its nickname.
And how does this house rank as far as structures in Salem that were, the earliest built?
This is what considered the oldest single-family dwelling in Salem.
Wow. We're here in the mensing machine shop, and now when you come in here, nothing happens because it's motion activated. We're here in the main exhibit of the wool center, so how does this work in here?
Well, this exhibit goes through the entire process of turning raw wool like this into fabric. The only thing that they actually made here at the mill, finished product-wise, were blankets. And then they also sold long wholesale orders of cloth to different companies to make into suits and other types of things.
Interesting. What specific machinery is in here?
In these two floors, we have carding machines, spinning machines like the ones behind you here, looms that actually weave the yarn into fabric, and then finishing and fulling machines downstairs.
Now, my camera guy, Christian Patterson, brought with him a hat today. Tell us about the hat.
It's a Pendleton hat, made in a factory much like this.
Now, you had a smaller version of this hat when you were little, and now your younger brother has that?
Yes, he runs around in it all the time. He loves it.
So there you have it. The importance of a well-made hat can become a tradition. We are here inside Mission Mill, right inside the entrance with Gloria. You're a longtime volunteer. How long have you been volunteering at Mission Mill?
21 years.
What do you like about Mission Mill?
Well, I like all the different activities we have here, and I love the grounds, and there's lots of things for children to do and for families to do.
Now, if someone wanted to come see the mill, how would they get involved?
If you want to come through the door, if you want to go through the museum, we give them a map like this that shows the PG building and all the houses and the mill and everything, so that they know where they're going when they get outside.
We are here in front of the Marion County Historical Society. Now, what does this organization do here at the mill?
Well, this organization actually preserves documents and photographs from the entire history of Marion County. So there's a large research library and facility, so you can come in and look at books in the research library, and also look at historic photographs that have been collected here.
And what kind of information can they sort of help you find if you come in wanting a specific history?
The folks that are here can help you find family history information, pictures of old historic buildings in town, different information about how things got started, and those types of things.
I'm here with Mark. What brought you to the mill today?
Well, I'm new to Oregon. I actually moved to Eugene last summer, and checking out the different areas here in Oregon and Salem I hadn't been to. I wanted to visit the capital, and we happened to walk by this mill and say, now that's what I'd like to see, some good machinery in action and authentic machinery. That looked like fun.
So what have you liked most so far at the mill?
Well, I haven't gotten that far through it. I'm still waiting to look and see what the actual mill machinery was like. But I saw it on the video, and it was extremely interesting. We were talking about the mill race and how they used to power things back then. A lot to learn and a lot to see. It's been fun.
So this is this your first time coming to Salem, you said?
Yeah, this is the first time, and wanted to visit the Capitol, wanted to see Willamette University, and coming to the mill here was happened to be an accident. We were experiencing. I looked at it, but one of the things that's really intriguing about our country is the economy and the industry that occurred, and this is a pretty important piece of history in this part of the country.
Yeah, exactly. And what do you think of the town of Salem so far?
Beautiful.
We've had an awesome time exploring Mission Mill in downtown Salem. I really want to thank Kylie Pine for giving us a tour of Mission Mill and talking about everything, all the old exhibits, historical places, and machines. What did you enjoy, Christian?
I enjoyed doing the camera work and, experiencing how all the, how my hat was made, for one thing.
Well, I've had a wonderful time exploring Mission Mill. Like you said, there's a lot to learn about historical places like this in town, and they are quite beautiful. Like Kylie said, from the front of the building, you can't really tell what the rest of it looks like, what all of the rest of the layout back here looks like, but it's really just beautiful, and there's a lot to explore. And Kylie also mentioned volunteers who want to get involved with Mission Mill. Just give Mission Mill a call, and they'll help you find your niche here, and you can do lots of interesting stuff, work with kids, help set up exhibits, and I feel like getting involved, actually. Anyway, we've had a great time exploring Salem. See you next time. Can I wear your hat? Wool hats are comfy.
I'm the curatorial. Curatorial.
It's okay, don't worry. The PGE water powers. I messed everything up. There you have it. That's all we need. We can. All right, are we recording? Now, Christian, my camera guy, brought with him a hat today. The importance of a well-made hat is, in fact, important. What? The importance of a well-made hat can become a tradition. We're here in the area of the factory that was used. Thanks for watching, and please come yeah.